Tell me, though, what's his technique? That last strike, it seems invincible.
Hello and welcome to Sons of the Dragon, the Immortal Iron Fist podcast. My name is Connor McKenna.
And I'm Rebecca Bradell.
Now, oh my god, I know I didn't call it son and daughter of the dragon.
I don't care.
So I'm a misogynist and I should literally be drawn and quartered. And a restraining order should be put on me to keep 50 kilometers away from every female in existence.
No, I'm kind of cool with that. I think we only did it when I was with Carl because we were actually talking about Misty and Colleen.
No, as a male, I'm telling you that you should be offended.
Okay, cool.
Okay, cool.
I'll bear that in mind.
Sorry. I've been reading too many Marvel comics.
I do get offended by things,
back.
just not that one.
Okay, yeah. Send your hate mail to sonsofthedragonpodcast@gmail.com. It's a handy trick I picked up from Trentus Magnus, Punches Reality. Whenever he says something bad, he just tells them to send him hate mail. So,
fair enough.
Yeah. Cool. So, this is our New York Comic Con episode,
Yes.
Which we recorded, but it got...
We did record in New York at 2 in the morning with my poor friend asleep in the background.
Yeah, we went to a lot of effort, specifically Rebecca, and ended up kind of being for nothing because the recording messed up like half hour through.
And then we couldn't do it again because I was annoyingly flying back to the UK, which takes a while, and then had to go straight to Dublin for my cousin's wedding. So that's...
Yeah.
The delay for re-recording is all down to my travelling, but the mess up is technological.
It is just a massive catastrophe. I cannot get any Skype recording software to work properly. They all mess up for different reasons. I mean, if it was the end times, if we saw the Four Horsemen, it wouldn't be far off. In fact,
that's how much he cares about this podcast.
I already see a falling star made of wormwood, so the end might be close indeed. But before we get to the end times, why don't we talk about the New York City Comic Con? And no, we're not outdated. We probably have information that you haven't heard before, so...
Hopefully.
Yeah.
And if not, so it may... I guess we should say up front, there should be a few minor spoilers.
Yeah, minor spoiler warnings.
I'm
we'll
guessing that most people who listen to the podcast have some knowledge of Iron Fist. If not, we're probably going to talk somewhat about his origin, some of the facts about his origin. But really, the clips they showed us at New York Comic Con, I wouldn't have thought that they were spoiling people massively. Like, you know, I think they haven't been too bad.
I think the Harold Meacham one is pretty spoilerific, so
yeah.
I reckon we cover
warning for that.
Yeah, I reckon we cover those at the end.
Yeah, okay.
Now,
we'll do
that way we can give people a... Yeah, cool. So, how was it?
It was great. It was really great. It was, I mean, I only went to New York Comic Con this year because I kind of gambled that they'd have an Iron Fist panel, based on what they'd done in previous years. And I was like, oh, I'm going to go this year. I'm free. I've got the money. I can do it if I get tickets. So I booked the flight, then had to go through the will I get tickets, then got the tickets, then had to wait to see if they were going to announce the Iron Fist panel. And once they did, then it became full-on stress about whether I was going to get to it or not, because my lovely friend, there was a limit to how early I was going to get him up, because he sorted out hotels for me and stuff like that. So it was like, but it all worked out. It was great. It was very different from San Diego Comic Con, which is the only huge one I've been to before. But I love New York, and so that was all nice. And the Thursday we saw the Iron Fist booth, which is the one where you could like focus your chi and do the Iron Fist move. And I did it.
Yes, tell us about that.
Well, on the Thursday it's really quite empty, so we saw all the comics artists then as well. Then we did the exhibit hall because you could actually move around it, and we were we were going around the Marvel booth bit by bit, looking for things to pick up. They freaked me out by trying to make me sign up for a credit card, and I was like, I'm sorry, I can't, I'm from Europe. And they were like, oh, I'm sorry. And I was like, I'm not. And then we saw the beard thing where you could like spin a thing to have your beard cut in a certain in whatever Marvel style you wanted. Then they had a little contest of champions thing, which they were like demanding you show them your roster in the game, and I was like, can't be bothered. So then we were kind of escaping all of that, and we came around the corner, and it just said Iron Fist on this wall, and I was like, wait, what is this? And there was like 5 people queuing up for something, so we were like, right, get in the queue, we're gonna, whatever it is, says Iron Fist, we're gonna do it. And it became apparent it was this little Iron Fist experience, they were calling it, and you could just hear lots of faintly stereotypical Eastern meditation music playing in the background. So what it was obviously like a green screen room with different backgrounds, like one fiery one kind of chill zen room one, and possibly others, where they put this little blood rate monitor on your finger, and it sort of showed you what your heart rate was. And it was all like, oh, focus your chi and this, that, and the other. And then at some point, it was like, and now unleash your chi. And you could do whatever move you wanted. And they'd take this photo from a few different angles and then email it to you. And I was like, I hate having my photo taken. Like, honestly, this is the kind of thing I would avoid like the plague normally. But I was like, it's Iron Fist, I'm going to do it. It's kind of crazy. No one will see me. My friend helpfully told me that it was probably a good job they hadn't emailed me the picture, but they didn't email the picture. But I did it, so I felt good.
Yeah.
And then so that was kind of cool because I didn't even know that was going to be there.
Yeah. I'm sure we have pictures of the Chi room up on our page anyway.
Yeah, we do, because there's one of Finn doing it. Both while he was focusing his Chi and when he was actually doing an Iron Fist kick. So that was pretty cool. But there were some people doing some really good either kicks or punches, so it was quite fun. And they're the people manning that booth had the Iron Fist t-shirt. So when I was saying to Carl the other day, because he was saying there was a t-shirt there, I think that's where the t-shirts were from, but I don't think they had like tons to hand out. I don't know. I didn't see t-shirts being handed out anywhere except maybe, I think they handed out 5 before the panel, but I'm not sure they were Iron Fist t-shirts. They didn't really say.
Yeah.
So that's what we did on Thursday while trying to plan. And then we didn't really do much till Saturday that was Iron Fist related anyway. And it was a crazy day for me because I'd also promised a friend I'd go see the Ninjak panel. Which was very bad timing, but it was kind of fun. It was like my kung fu day. And so we got up at 4, went to the convention center. No, we didn't get up at 4. I'm lying. The plan. See, I've tried to make this sound not as bad as it is. Our plan was to get there for 4, because friends in previous years had said they went there at 5ish, and I was like, well, these, the Marvel things are getting kind of bigger and bigger each year, and it's literally a week since Luke Cage was released, which everyone loved. Or everyone I spoke to loved. I should allow for some people not, and I have a few mixed feelings about bits of Luke Cage, but overall I enjoyed it.
I liked it. I didn't love it, but I really liked it. So
I liked it, but I thought the second half was not as good as the first half.
Yeah.
I thought, I think it had. Unfortunately, I think it kind of couldn't. It's not that it couldn't sustain itself. I didn't like some of the changes that happened, sort of from 8 to 13, but I still enjoyed it. I just didn't. It's like I loved 1 to 7, and I kind of liked 8 onwards. So it was very much a 2 halves for me. Although I think it's got me slightly prepared for changes we might get in Iron Fist. Like I feel I'm more steeled towards what's going to happen, and I'm cool with it. Mostly.
So, speaking of Iron Fist, obviously, before we get right into the con, we'll just cover any recent news that has happened since the con, and not much. The Iron Fist race thing has kind of popped up again.
But that was always going to happen.
we've done an episode on that. That's our 22nd episode. If you really want to listen to it, listen to it. We only did that episode because people asked us to, and we were not happy about it. But whatever. But either way, the reason I mentioned this is because Finn Jones has come out and said, just wait and watch the show. So, yeah.
Yeah, and
good idea.
Jeff Loeb came out and said that it was very much going to be about the 1%, or the 1% of the 1%. I think it's the only other article of any great substance I've seen afterwards. But they've mostly been interviews with the cast that they did at New York Comic Con, and the stories are being written from what they said now.
Yeah.
I don't think we've had any more.
Yeah, I mean, I think only people who haven't really read the comic need reassurance about, but whatever. Anyway, we covered all that in that old episode, so let's not dwell on that. Yeah, so back to the con and more fun things.
Yeah, so my friend woke up I'm always up early. I work at 2 in.the morning, so whatever my body clock is, I haven't messed up. So I was up at 2 and messing around, emailing home, and my friend woke up at like 2:30, and he kind of rolled over and said, "Do you want to go now?" And I was like, "Yes, I do." I'm not going to lie, I want to go now. So we went down to the convention centre, sat there for however many hours till they open it. They open it around 7, 8. I think they open it at 8. And a lot of the people in the queue are waiting for the sort of exclusive toys and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you have no real way of knowing. But we knew we were in the first. This is going to sound bad to say we were in the first 100. We were actually in the first, say, 30, but a lot of people were queuing for lots of other people.
Yeah.
So by the time we went in, we were about in the first 100. Then you all get like sent into this massive queuing room, and that's where the queues kind of split. So we went down for the Iron Fist queue, and I guess we were pretty early on in that. Obviously, we were like probably 20, 30 people in. And what they did this year that they haven't done in previous years, all the badges were RFID. So instead of, I think previous years they've made you wait and give out wristbands. This year, as soon as the queue looked like it was getting not full for the room, but full for the queuing area, they just scanned your RFID card, and that's what got you in. And then, later on, obviously, when you went in, you scanned it and it checked. So we scanned that and then went to stand in the queue for the rest of the convention. And by 9:15, the Iron Fist panel was full.
So before we get into the panel, which is like the main thing, was there anything else of note there?
Well, there were the posters, which have been sort of pretty much broadcast everywhere. The Joker Starter posters. See, I'm not doing the Carl thing either. There were the comics, which is a reprint of Marvel Premiere 15 with Finn on the front. There were temporary tattoos, which I didn't get, and then comics and t-shirts. That was the only thing I really saw that was Iron Fisty.
And it is interesting that the comic is only 15, but I guess, they don't want to spend money on doing like 2 issues in there, so...
I think they probably did it quite quickly, because... I mean, like, all the other... because last year they'd had the Jessica Jones... Was it the Jessica Jones one they had last year? Because it was before Jessica Jones, right? Am I right here?
I have no idea.
No, it was... whichever, but... one of the I think last year they had the Jessica Jones, but it was the one that connected between Daredevil and Jessica Jones, so it kind of made sense. And you're also but they're like 5 months out for Iron Fist. They're not going to have written a prelude comic. That might explain some of the changes we're going to see. So there's no point. I don't think they didn't do a prelude comic for Luke Cage either. I guess the implication, well, obviously Jessica Jones has less content to pull from.
Yes,
and
a lot less.
They were giving us quite a different Jessica from Alias as well. So, whereas Luke and Danny, you can go read their origin stories. They're out there. They're on Marvel Unlimited. They've just been on Comixology sales. It's not that hard to find, but I guess they wanted to do something, and the easiest thing to do was just chuck a cover on.
Well, that being said, actually... Yeah, so before we get into the Iron Fist panel, let's talk about Luke Cage a bit, the show. This Luke Cage, he's very modern Luke Cage, but I didn't find him to be that much like his 70s character.
Well,
what did you think?
I think
he's a lot more passive in the show.
Well, I went to this panel with Mike Coulter a week before the show, and he said they did a lot of thinking about that, and they sort of decided he was going to smack people rather than punch people because of the sheer strength. So I think I was kind of expecting that, but I think, I don't know, maybe it's because in the show he was an ex-cop rather than an ex-kind of street gang guy.
Yeah.
You know, which I think was probably the biggest change to me.
Actually, I actually forgot about the ex-cop thing because it only really came up once.
Yeah, but I think it kind of, I get the sense that if you grow up in a gang versus if you grow up and become a policeman.
Yeah. You could still have both.
You can.
I mean,
no, you can. But,
FYI, spoiler warning for Luke Cage.
Well, this is a very minor spoiler. I mean, like, the fact that we're saying he's an ex-cop, I think is pretty...
Oh, well, minor. I'll probably go into it a bit more, actually, if we're talking about Luke Cage. It's been out for a while now, so...
But,
the spoiler point, yeah.
But, I don't think I mind this stuff, because I think in some of the Avengers comics, I guess he's a bit more, like he was in this. But, I didn't find his characterization particularly problematic. Like, to me, there were just little things, and I was just like, and some of the Diamondback storyline, I was like, I'm not really sure. I don't know. I just think I really like some of Luke's family stuff, and when they changed that, I was like, I'm not sure. I guess I got a little bit upset for Raphael Scarf because I kind of love him. I did love him in the TV show. I mean, he was a complete little git, but I adored him in the show. So but it's very different from the rough scarf of Iron Fist.
Yeah, I don't hate Raphael Scarf. I don't have Raphael Scarf. He's always this goofy idiot for me in the comics.
But I love him because he makes Danny tea, and he says, and he comes in and just talks about how lovely Misty is, which is probably why you don't like him. And
it's just him and his stupid mustache, and he just always looks like he's missing a few brain cells.
He's not in it much, but I like him hanging out with Blake Tower and going, "Come on, Danny, you need to come and help with this."
Yeah, no, I don't hate him. I liked him in the show. That backstory with this kid was grueling. It was like really messed up, and I kind of wish they went a bit further with him than they did in the show, but they didn't. So whatever. It is how it is.
I guess I felt a bit like Jessica Jones got Hogarth, Luke Cage got Scarf, and I was just sitting here going, but they're Iron Fist characters.
Well, I mean, when you think about Daredevil, it's like Jessica Jones got Nuke and Purple Man.
I know.
It's like she's just stealing everyone's villains, and she's getting
fair,
a season 2, really?
She's not got a lot of I mean, there's not a lot of Jessica Jones content, so to be fair, I don't mind the Hogarth thing, and it worked out quite well.
The content there is Jessica Jones does have interactions with Purple Man, so interactions is one word for it, but
it's a very significant baddie for her, even though it's only the last bit of Alias.
I mean, from what I read, it's really only her only significant baddie.
It is, because
I read Alias and The Pulse.
Yeah, because most of the time she's just being a private investigator.
Yeah, and I kind of wish the show did that more. Since season 2 is now inevitable, I want the show to more just do her doing all that weird private investigator stuff. Yeah, I don't really want an overarching villain, because I don't think that... As I said, I've voiced my opinion about Jessica Jones. I think the show is... I really don't like it after episode 8.
See, I
do not like it. It ruined nearly the rest of the show for me, so... Yeah, I'm hoping that they take a different thing with season 2. I don't know. I still don't think there should be a season 2, because there's just so many other characters with a lot more content.
Possibly, but it's, we don't know the deals. Like, we don't know the nature of the deals, and it was incredibly popular. I mean, I loved it. I really loved it. So, it's something very different for them as well. Because the one thing you can say is, I mean, you know, a lot of superhero stuff does get a bit samey, but she is quite different.
Yeah.
What else about Luke?
That's I guess I don't have much to add. I was a bit similar to you. I think I enjoyed the show less after episode 8, but not. I think generally it was better paced than all the other Marvel shows.
I think the pacing was good. I just didn't really have a lot of time for Diamondback.
Besides Daredevil season 2, I think that one starts the best pacing. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, yeah, no, Diamondback wasn't as good, but I thought he was fine. He could have definitely been a lot better, but you know, just yeah, he could have been a lot better. He turned into like a freaking movie Marvel villain, so.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. I mean, but it wasn't so much that. I think it's because they'd showed us better. Like, I think I don't know. And also, like, I got very confused about some of his motivation, because I'm just like, but I'm like, I should not have read the comics, basically.
The flashbacks at the start of the last episode with him should have been content like that. Should have been more prevalent throughout the Diamondback arc of the show, but it wasn't. It only just came in the end. So I think it could have been better. I don't think it's just because the things previous are better. I think they could have made it better quite easily by adding more substance to that stuff. But instead, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, now, before you start, I like Misty in the show. She's fine.
Good.
But I think they gave her too much screen time. Not because it's Misty, but because these shows gotta stop focusing on the side characters so much. Especially Karen Page. Now, that I have a problem with. Because the show's called Daredevil, the show's called Luke Cage, and if you cut out some of the more unnecessary Misty scenes that don't have much to do with the overarching plot, or Luke getting shot like a million times, you could put in more flashbacks with Diamondback, or establish more relationship between him and Luke. You know?
Possibly. I don't know. I'm not very good at judging things like that when I'm watching them. I liked watching her. But yeah, but at least their investigations kind of tied in with what Luke was doing this time, which they haven't in all of them.
With Karen Page in Daredevil season 1, instead of Matt Murdock being with Ben Urich, it was Karen Page with Ben Urich, which is already much less interesting. And of course, she gets Ben killed. Yeah, which is
we're
like
never gonna forgive.
A cardinal sin. And
that's still my biggest shock in the Marvel Netflix.
Her subplot, it had a bit to do with the main plot, but then Daredevil season 2, her subplot was just serving as a bit of a Punisher spinoff, and she has so much screen time. I'm not kidding. She probably has the most screen time besides Matt Murdock himself, and it's not called Daredevil and Karen Page.
I think in season 2, the speed at which she becomes an established reporter with a massive corner office. Well, that was mocked. That was actually mocked by Empire, who I think did a better job of that since they are journalists. It doesn't work this way. They don't just walk in and say, "Have a job." Yeah. But I still quite like her in the show. But I think you're right. It's possibly too much, and maybe I like having someone to mock a little bit.
Are we talking about Misty or Karen?
Karen, I don't mock Misty.
See, I don't like Karen in the show. She's a less interesting version than actually, I think, every incarnation of Karen in the comics. Even early 60s fully in love with Matt Karen because she was crazy.
Yeah.
She was completely insane, and it was kind of funny to, watch her be this idiotic, doughy-eyed...
I think they're just trying to hold it back a bit and, have her story go over several series if they get them, but...
I don't know if it's her acting, or I don't know if she's just really... I think everyone else in the show is better. She sounds I really liked Elektra. Elektra was great.
Yeah,
I thought, she wasn't completely accurate to the comics, but I thought she was great. But Karen is always just acting the exact same. I don't know what it is.
It'd be interesting
I just don't find her character
in Punisher.
See, I'm dreading that because I was looking forward to Punisher. Now I'm going to be honest, I'm not really looking forward to it that much because she is in every episode.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Oh, I just thought she was going to be in it. I didn't really pay attention to how much.
Every episode, Karen Page is going to be in it, and her scenes are just boring. They always cut from better scenes to her, and I don't want to say she's too goody two shoes, because you can have goody two shoes.
Well, also, they've clearly tried to give her some kind of dot. We don't know anything about it. Like we know when she shot what's his name, Wesley, that she said it's not the first time I've done this kind of thing, or like handled a gun.
Yeah, but that was like.
But they've not really explained it. And if they had, we might not think she was as goody two.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, oh, well, I mean, you can tell us and hint at that stuff, but you don't actually show us anything, so it's not really changing how I feel.
Yeah, we have nothing to show us that she has a darker background. You're right.
And that being said, I don't like Karen. I'm fine with her in the show. I just don't think she'd be in the show as much as she is. And the fact that she's in all I feel like it's literally the Daredevil and Karen show. She has that much screen time.
She was in it that
really
much
annoying.
In the second series, but hey, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, she wasn't in it as much. But
no, because you had Elektra and Punisher were taking up far more of the screen time. Because,
no one I've talked to, or maybe besides you, likes Karen in the Daredevil show.
I like
none
her
of them
well
like
enough.
her.
I mean, it's not like I don't want to see more of her.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's probably a better way of putting it. And is she really popular with people or something? Because now she's in Punisher. Really? In Punisher? Come on.
I guess people like their interactions in Daredevil too. But again, it doesn't make me want to. I don't see.
Is it just people doing their stupid shipping thing though?
No, I don't know. I don't think so because I don't really hang out in shipping communities. But I don't think so because people tend to be far more. I don't know. I think the problem is I didn't mind their interactions in Daredevil season 2, but I don't want to see 13 episodes of the same of her saying,
"Yeah, exactly.
Come on, Frank, you can be a better person."
And I feel like even that dragged on a bit too much in season 2.
Or even the flip, if he showed her how to become a vengeful, shooter. I'm not sure I want to see that either. I don't know. It would kind of be alright for a few episodes, or if she was just in as a sort of grounding thing. But I just can't imagine what role she'll play in Punisher other than some sort of quite tropey. Person to be saved. I guess she could get kidnapped. That's a pretty standard superhero thing.
But there's plenty of. It's not like the Punisher doesn't have a cast of characters. That being said, it's a rotating cast of characters.
I can see why they might want to bring in popular ones from other series to boost it.
They should stop with that though. It doesn't need a boost because the Punisher was already really well received.
Well, it's I like them having Claire in every series, but she doesn't have to try and kiss people, or they have to try and kiss her because she is gorgeous.
She was in it a bit too much in Luke Cage, a bit too much for me. Well, she's in it so much that I hope she kind of stays there. I feel like if she's in any other show now, it will feel forced. Yeah. Well, because she's become a Cage
character more than anyone else. Yeah.
Well, she is a Cage character, really.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But she's no, she is a Cage character. Why am I even saying that? She is a Cage character. So I don't mind her staying there. I thought she was good with Luke. But I just hope that Danny doesn't fancy her either. I think we can have a break from that. We've already got enough weirdness with Misty and Luke and Danny now.
Yes, speaking of, let's hope, I hope like you that there is no romance in the first season of Iron Fist, because romance has no place in the first story of Iron Fist. The revenge story, as you call it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of split between it, because we've talked about this before, which is why Connor's he knows my feelings about this, but it is, for me, I think that the way they're gonna mark it out is the revenge story. It's the origin that we've not had really yet, properly, and it's cool. It's what makes him Danny, and it's
not really full of many tropes, tropes like romance and stuff.
While I can imagine him coming from this obscure place in Kunlun and suddenly being thrust into New York, and it all be very exciting. And him seeing girls or boys that he finds beautiful, because who knows where Marvel's going. But so I'm gonna be like, I could see that happening, and him. But do I see him wanting or being able to date someone? No, and I don't need that. And
that's the thing. The
I think
show is really.
But I think it would be a nice demarcation from the other ones, because Matt's a bit of a player. He is in the comics. He's slept with everyone.
Just a bit.
Yeah, so it's kind of, you have no problem with watching that. Luke's a bit of a player as well, to be fair. Well,
that's why I don't have a problem with it in their shows, because that's already
and that's what I mean. Jessica is a very sexual person, and if I call her a player as much, tends not to date as much, but she sleeps with a lot of people. But she dates a bit like Ellie. So, but that's the feeling you get, is that she's like at least up for it. But Danny, it's not just because I'm seeing him as this delicate, innocent little flower. I just think it would be a nice change to have one that doesn't.
Well, and the whole thing,
the obvious romance,
The whole thing that they're going for is, the thing in philosophy is like, once you go Eastern, you can't really fully come back into the West. Like, it's just, the society is so different, and once you get in that Eastern mindset, it's crazy. Obviously, I don't know from personal experience, but this is what I've heard. And they're really trying to, when I've heard they're really trying to do that sort of thing in Iron Fist. Like, this, he went to, he studied under, this heavy Eastern philosophies and stuff. Now he's come back to a very materialistic Western world. And there is
I don't want it to
no
get
room
tropey.
for romance.
Yeah, I mean, because that's completely right. I just think that on a totally sort of, I want it to stand out. I guess I want it to stand out as something a bit different, where we're so used to, almost the minute you see your hero cast and your main female lead, they're going to be flirting, at least, if nothing more. And it would be kind of interesting to see a show where that didn't happen. They could just be friends.
Yeah, and if he's in that situation, he's coming back from the Eastern society,
Agreed,
I don't think he's in a position to date. He's not going to be thinking about that at all. And he's not going to have this all primal impulse or something.
No,
he's going to be busy dealing with.
Low down his agenda.
He's going to be dealing with, for one, dealing with this change in society, and two, dealing with this whole Harold Meacham situation, which I'm having a wild guess is going to be somewhat similar to the comics.
Yeah.
So,
I think
there is just no room for romance. Not even one night stands in that.
No. That's the difference. Is he's not come from a place where he was having one night stands or dating, as far as we know. So that's not something you necessarily change overnight just because there's opportunity.
I mean, he'll do it eventually, but
yeah, of course.
I am afraid that Marvel are going to go that route. I'm afraid they're going to put him with Colleen, which is
I'm a little bit fearful. But then, you know what, in the first Avenger, the most we ever got was a kiss, so they can... They
were no romance, though. They were in a heavy romance in that whole movie.
Yeah, but I could see him being a bit like that with a girl, but not acting.
Not Colleen.
No, not Colleen.
See, I'm not one of those people who ships or anything. I usually don't really care about the whole romance thing, but for me, this is
I could see Joy playing him.
Joy is a possibility, I guess. I'd prefer Joy to...
I would prefer
Colleen.
Joy to Colleen. I think anyone who's read the comics would probably prefer Joy to Colleen. Just because, Colleen, that's what marks them out, is that they never dated.
Yeah, in fact, it was never even broached.
Yeah.
They never flirted. That was the thing. They never got together.
So
it was never even a thing.
So if you're wondering and you haven't read the comics, the reason everyone is very resistant to the Danny Colleen thing is it's they're absolute best friends.
And the thing is, she was the first female in the Iron Fist comics, the first female character, and they didn't hook up. And this was in the 70s, people. 70s Marvel, and it did not turn into a romance. You know how crazy that is?
It is crazy. In fact...
Anyway, yeah.
So there's our little on Iron Fist.
Before we go into the panel...
Yeah.
Is there anything else to talk about the show-wise? What do you think's going to happen after the Defenders series? Do you think we're going to get a Heroes for Hire show? Do you think we're just going to get season 2 of everything, or...
Well, we know we're getting season 2 of Jessica, season 3 of Daredevil, season 1 of Punisher. Then I very much would like Heroes for Hire.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if I need to see a second season of Luke. And I would watch multiple series of Danny, but they're good together. If they've got the chemistry when the actors get together, then go for it. I like Misty and Colleen together. Claire's cool. Have at it. I don't know. I mean, all we know is that the original Marvel contract was for the 4 individual Defenders series, the Defenders as a joint series, and that was it. So they've added all the season 2s. They've added Punisher. I mean, obviously, I would love to see Moon Knight, but that's on a separate level. But Danny and Luke, I'd like to see them. I'd see them together.
I'd obviously watch multiple seasons of Iron Fist, and I would really like a second season just so we can get a season about Orson Randall and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because I think that particular sort of stuff would be weird to fit in a Heroes for Hire show. I would love a Luke Cage and Iron Fist show, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Like, just down the line. I want another Iron Fist season to be nice. But, beggars can't be choosers. Iron Fist is getting a TV show.
Yeah, I think
thought this would happen?
I think at this point it's now kind of not. It's totally out of fan hands. I mean, it's always been out of fan hands, but I think however much the shows are loved, it now comes down to money with Marvel, Netflix, and what's actually feasible for them to film right in a year.
Yeah.
Because I think they've proven that people will watch whatever they put out and will pretty much love it because they've done a good job. Good solid job, but we don't know what Netflix makes from the shows. We don't know how much it costs them. So the rest, I don't know. I find I don't want to get my hopes up too much because it's not like the cinema where we know how much it costs, we know how much money it made. We don't know how Netflix judges those things. Or where Marvel says we want to take it back in-house because we want more of that.
Yeah, and people who are worried about that, or people who, I'm guilty of this, people who complain about stuff like, certain plot elements, stuff like that. Right, so the fact that, getting an Iron Fist show, guys, me and everyone else should stop worrying so much because we're getting an Iron Fist show. A C-lister.
It's what I keep reminding myself every time people ask how I'm going to react about changes. And I'm like, do you know what? It's Iron Fist on TV. I don't know what else I can say. Other people are going to start loving Iron Fist. It's kind of good in a way. So
yeah, don't take it for granted either, because unlike you want to complain about Superman or Batman TV shows, whatever they've obviously stood the test of time, but just with Iron Fists, Daredevil and stuff, just enjoy them getting the spotlight while you can. We don't know if it's going to be forever, so
yeah, I mean,
we've
got to try and be slightly positive about these things, I think.
Oh no, but that's not my point.
No, that's exactly what I mean. Is hey, I will grumble about stuff, I'm sure. I'm not coming. I don't want to come across as some kind of Pollyanna about this, but occasionally, I know there's going to be challenges of things that I know about the comics that are going to turn out different, or suddenly all your friends will be like, oh, what did you think about this? And you'll be kind of put on the spotlight. But I'm kind of excited that I was sitting in a room of, I think they said however many people fit in the panel room or whatever, and people were on their feet standing and clapping for Iron Fist. And you're like, this is great. Even if you've never heard of him, you're excited because you know that you love the other stuff they've put out. And
we talked about this last time. We'll talk about it again. So, because I watched the panel on YouTube and so many people were cheering so loudly, and I asked you, is Iron Fist that popular, or is it just the Netflix shows? And we did talk about it before, but I guess we may as well talk about it again for the benefit.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Netflix shows it's Marvel have done great with the actual films. I think the Netflix shows have proven that not all superheroes are how we see them in films, so they can do good baddies, that they can have development, that they can be flawed like Jessica, that they can be, proper heroes like Daredevil, and also the panel came out, like I said, a week before Luke Cage had
released,
which was very, very popular in America.
In a week after.
Yeah,
right?
It was, literally like a week after. So people had just watched Luke Cage, so they're still kind of buzzing about it.
Yeah.
And obviously that's in there with Iron Fist fans. But my personal experience is there's not a huge number of Iron Fist fans. Like people who've read him like him. I actually have a really good friend who I found out last year is a massive Power Man and Iron Fist fan, but he stopped reading all Marvel after Civil War 1, and won't have anything to do with Marvel since.
Can I just take a moment? I salute you, sir. If more people were like you, maybe Marvel would be in a different position right now, a better position in comics, anyway.
But his is a very ideological standpoint of he doesn't want to see heroes fighting one another like that. Like he wants heroes to be heroic. So, and I was like, cool, I get your point, but I still had no idea you love Power Man and Iron Fist, so that's kind of cool.
Oh, I just assumed it's because he thought it was trash, which it.
Well, I think he did as well, but he also... Frontline's so good. Another quick moment to mourn Ben Urich in the TV shows. Because Frontline is stellar. And also, I love Speedball. So, who's my other... Oh god, now my cat's licking my arm. Yes, so the panel...
Slightly off topic.
I can't help it, it's very distracting.
It's fine.
But and also, if you do hear any cries, pitiful cries, she does sometimes make noise, but the other one doesn't. So, but yeah, so the panel was great. I mean, they do this crazy thing where like the people enter these competitions while they're there, and they get to go into the panel first. So we were never going to be like, and also I had to go to this Ninjak panel, so I knew I wasn't going to be right at the front for Iron Fist, which was cool. I was like, I just want to be in the room and be able to see any screens they have. So we weren't actually that far back there, because of my mania, we were there as early as we could get there, and we were like right on the aisle though, so we could see down the middle and see both the screens. I was introduced by Jeff Loeb, who was kind of very funny about taking ages to talk about the TV series and how great they were, and everyone's like, just bring out the cast. You'll have to remind me about the order of these things now, because I'm bound to forget. Then he brought out the cast. Did he bring out the cast first? Yeah, he brought out the cast first. He did everything else afterwards. So we got to see, who did we have? We had Joy and Ward Meacham, which is David Palfrey and Jessica something.
Yeah, I can't remember the last name.
Then David Wenham, or Harold Meacham, who we love. Claire Temple, Rosario Dawson. I will get that one right. Jessica Hennick. I'll do the Brits. I'll get their names right. Jessica Hennick, who's our Colleen, and Finn Jones, who's Iron Fist, and Scott Buck, who's the showrunner. So introduced them all. They talked a bit about their characters. Not very much. It was kind of usual kind of panel stuff. Who are you? Where'd you come from? And then they started showing clips. So we had the trailer, but that kind of came in the middle. And they started off with these short clips, and it was really cute.
Well,
none of the cast had seen them yet, so they all had to like jump up off their seats to watch them with the audience every time.
Before we talk about the clips,
let's do the
obviously
trailer.
David Wenham was there as well.
Yeah, I said him.
Yeah.
I said David Wenham.
I just want to point out, it's David Wenham, guys. Be excited, because he is a gentleman and a scholar, so we should be privileged.
I actually am a big fan of David Wenham, but not like Connor is. Like, I can't come close. So, but he is great. I think after Iron Fist, I might like him even more, although I might be a little bit scared of him. But I don't know, do you want to do the trailer first, since that's the one that's definitely not going to have any spoilers in, because people have either seen it or they haven't?
That's all we have left, right, is the trailer and then the clips, and then we're done.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, let's do the trailer. So we've all seen the trailer.
Yes, we've all seen the trailer. And it got, oh my god, it got massive cheers. We get. So what do we see in the trailer? We see the hallway. We see the start of a hallway fight, which is cool because that has become the Netflix thing. Each of them get a little hallway fight. We get.
Did Jessica Jones get one?
Jessica Jones pretty much lived in a corridor, so many of her fights. But yeah, she also fought Luke in a corridor, I think. So.
Oh, okay.
They all got corridor fights, and it's funny because you know that they're all trying to one up one another in them. I mean, Daredevil's are definitely the best. Definitely.
Oh yeah.
So far.
Yeah,
but I'm
so
leaving.
far.
I think Iron Fist might have a couple of tricks up his sleeve called his fist. No, I mean I think Iron Fist has the potential to be extremely good because
Let's hope.
Well, let's hope that they don't do a show called Iron Fist without making sure they've got pretty good fight choreography.
Yeah.
You know, he is in the comics. He's a better fighter than Matt, so it would make sense from a story point of view if his hallway fight was better.
Yeah.
Or his other fights. Maybe not the hallway one. Maybe they'll leave Daredevil with that crown. But I think both Daredevil's hallway fights have been incredible. Like they've been breathtaking. So there was that. There was the glowing fist, which got such big cheers. And the Bride of
so the
Nine
Iron
Spiders,
Fist is confirmed.
Which didn't get
Bride of
cheers.
Nine Spiders.
Surprise.
I thought it could also, well, as you said, most of the people there were probably...
Yeah. And I didn't notice it when I was there. It was only on rewatchers that I was like, oh, is that where we're going? You know, because you can't take everything in.
That being said, it could also be a Crane assassin, but it is looking to be likely to be the Bride of Nine Spiders because of Matt Fraction. Did he come out and...
David Aha, the artist, said, "Did you all spot the Bride of Nine Spiders in the trailer?" So
yeah.
So there's a good chance. And some of the stuff
he could be messing with us.
But... He could be, but some of the stuff from the clips kind of backs up that might be a way they go at some point. We got to see him in some sort of black outfit. We got to see him in a few different outfits actually. We got to see some monks. We got to see him meditating on a sofa. Quite a lot.
A hallway fight, but basically, see, I like the trailer, but the trailer essentially exists for three reasons. Hey, look, here's the glowing fist. Hey, look, there's the dragon tattoo, or brand, and hey, look, it's a hallway fight, and that's like.
But it's a teaser trailer, and that's probably they're the three questions people. Well, they're two of the questions people have been asking, followed with a bit of action to show you're getting the fighting.
So for that reason, like, I don't think it's as good as the Daredevil teasers.
I don't think anything can top that first. Like some of the first Daredevil teasers were amazing.
I think Daredevil has the benefit of being like Daredevil's the one that sort of set the stage for all these. So like to some extent, these are all borrowing off Daredevil.
Yeah, essentially all the ones afterwards have been this is where we're different from Daredevil as well.
Exactly, it's like Daredevil's the template.
Yeah,
and then they're changing it for each hero.
But also Daredevil has a benefit of that kind of. He does have that kind of dark, brooding kind of sense. Of, not him personally, the whole show. So like when they showed that blood dripping from his mouth, like dripping from him after that fight, it was just there's so much they can do with that just slowness.
I was blown away. Yeah. Like as a long-time Daredevil fan, that just completely blew me away.
But I have to say, I hated the first Luke Cage trailer. Like, really didn't like it. And it was only when the second one came out that I was like, right, now I'm ready for Luke Cage. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't think the teaser trailers do one thing, which is go, yes, dragon, glowy fist. We're definitely going mystical Marvel here. We're not gonna just make him good at punching. And here's a bit of him, in a few different outfits, and here's a fight.
Speaking of the Iron Fist itself, looks really good.
I think so, yeah.
Looks reminiscent of Mr. Andrews' living weapon, the sort of see-through a bit. Yeah. But what got me more excited for the show, this is actually the point where I'm like, this show will be good. Like, there was a sketch. It was the artist doing the sketches for the Iron Fist reprint, the cover.
Yeah.
And because I got a link to that before it went public, so I got a link to this before I saw the trailer, and that's when I saw the dragon tattoo.
Right.
Iron Fist looks like if Bruce Lee and Garfunkel had a child.
Yeah, pretty much.
And the Chinatown, and I was blown away. I'm like, this is awesome, you get the tattoo, and I was completely sold when I saw that. I'll put the
I had
link
great
in the show
concerns
notes.
about the tattoo. I was like,
Yeah.
please have it, please have a dragon.
Yeah, because after the thing that is the Ultimate Spider-Man show with Ultimate Iron Fist, then yeah. So yeah, that's the trailer.
Have you seen it? Have you seen the Chester brand in the latest run of comics?
The what?
In current run of comics, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, but he's never been bare-chested, so...
He was bare-chested in the first issue.
Yeah, that was like that wasn't like a full shot though. I think that was more of a kerfuffle because let's face it, the art was
maybe
inconsistent.
I'm just saying that I'm still looking for. I think it will be there, but I'm looking forward to. I think it's in one of the letters pages. I think somebody asked him like, "Where's the tattoo?" and David Walker said, "Hey, the art's not up to me," like kind of thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
So we'll see.
Yeah. So do you have anything else to add about the trailer?
I think that's all I can remember about the trailer. Obviously, it showed Colleen. It showed, it showed the others. But I think I think you're right. It was a. This is what we're just answering the questions that people have been asking and giving people who don't know anything about it a little hint.
Colleen is looking really good as well. So
she looks so good. We'll get back to that in the clips though.
Yeah. So okay, now I'm gonna drop my spoiler warning. So if you don't want any spoilers for the show at all, then just stop listening now. The clips are the very last thing we're going to be covering, so there's nothing else to add. So yeah, but if you don't mind, they're pretty minor spoilers. One of them I think is like, but we'll give another warning before that one.
Mm-hmm. We'll do that.
But this is a warning for all the minor spoilers, like minor scenes from the show. So yeah, heads up. All right.
Right. So we'll do them mostly in order, but leave the Harold Meacham one till...
Yeah, the Harold Meacham one is the spoilerific one.
Yeah. Or as I said to you nicely, it's the one that gives you all the information.
Yeah.
Nice, the other way of putting it. So the first one we saw is what happens before the hallway fight. So you get our favourite hippie Danny in his hippie clothes and barefoot going into the office of Rand Enterprises. So there's your first tiny. It's not Rand Corps, it's not Rand Meacham, it's Rand Enterprises. And asking to speak to Harold. And getting kind of the exact response you'd expect from someone in a snotty office building to someone who's coming in barefoot and looking like a homeless guy. And they're like, yeah, whatever. And he goes to wait, and then he sees this big digital display table. And it's got the story of how Rand Enterprises was formed, and he sees his dad, and he sees Harold Meacham. So you get the pictures of them there. He doesn't really go into any of the story. It's just kind of corporate blurb of these friends did this and that. And then at the same time, security guards come to escort Danny from the building and kick him out. And then you're like, oh, that was a bit of a boring clip. And then Danny comes straight back in. And this time the security guards try to stop him again. But he does this very quiet fight. So it's not disturbing everyone in the whole building. But it's just kind of, I'm taking you out. And it was much more exciting to me than the hallway fight. Because he's just like dropping guys. But with very little effort. And then he actually calls the lift by doing a backward kick. Or elevator, I should translate, I guess. Which I just thought was amazing. And then, so that's that one. And you didn't really see much of that. That was him, the end of that one. Actually, it's not the start of the hallway fight. What am I talking about? It's another little mini hallway fight. Because the hallway fight comes later. Then what did we see? When was the clip? There was a clip of the hallway fight where you see just more of what they show in the trailer. And Jeff Loeb said afterwards that the scene carries on with Danny jumping on top of the lift.
So it does look like, I will point out here, it does. We've always wanted that third issue of Iron Fist. adapted. All the crazy traps. Maybe they are going to go that way and have him fight up the skyscraper. So I think that would be really cool.
It would be fun actually. So so apparently he's going to jump on top of a lift and carry the fight on. His all-way fight will be multiple levels.
And it sounds like the building. Obviously, there probably won't be exploding stairs, but
no, but it'd be cool if there were. So then we saw a clip of him going into a restaurant where Joy and Ward were having dinner, talking about boring financial stuff. Danny kind of comes in and they're like, "Hey, Danny." Well, not in a friendly manner. That's how I would say it. They're like, "Hey, Danny, what do you want?" Ward says, "I don't know why you keep thinking that I see you as a brother, because I don't." So they're pretty. You can tell they've already met, and there's already been some bad blood there. And Danny's talking about, "I just want what my dad wanted for me," and he says, "I've got Hogarth on my side now," which is the first. I mean, like, on IMDb, she's listed for one episode of Iron Fist, but I think this is our first confirmation she's going to be in it a lot more.
And she's representing Danny as well, which is interesting because,
representing Danny.
Like in the comics, Jaren, gender-bending craziness, they're both bad people. I think Jaren Hogarth gets better, but Jerry Hogarth, I think she's a bad person.
Yeah, I think in the comics he's more of a sort of bumbling idiot who's got that kind of, like, everything bad about him is exactly what you imagine a corporate lawyer would be bad about.
He's ruthless early on.
Yeah, but that's how I imagine corporate lawyers are.
That's true.
I mean, like, there's nothing evil about him. There is that great bit where Luke tells him off for, like, booking Heroes for Hire instead of Nightwing Restorations, which is one of my favourite of his moments, where he's like, "You made Danny, like, you played him off against his girl. That's wrong." Like, Danny has a little strop about that, so which is very, very sweet. But, like, it's always my my example of how Jaren can be a bit of a dick. But you're right. But I just see him as ruthless business rather than, like, nasty. Like, you'd never want to see him as the bad. Like, but in Jessica Jones, she's pretty bad. So it's going to be interesting to see how she interacts with, like, Danny. Because I'm not sure how. I think that's going to be one of the fun things. Is, like, they really are going to show us that kind of business world and how Danny's going to have to deal with that. But that got a big cheer. That Hogarth's going to be in it, and maybe I don't know who. Maybe we'll get to see Foggy again. Now he works for Hogarth, apparently. Maybe, if that goes through. So maybe Matt will be the other lawyer, but I doubt it. He's very much criminal. Who knows?
You can't just have Matt Shaw because he's a lawyer. Like, he is specifically a criminal defense lawyer.
We could have Marcy or someone. No, she's the same law firm. Can't.
Well, Foggy's in Hogarth's law firm now.
So we can't have him. Well, we could see him helping Hogarth.
We could see him, yeah.
Well, so we have. There's definitely. We will obviously get the Meachams lawyer. It'll be interesting to see who that is. But that's another possible.
I hope it's Master Khan, just with his full get-up. He's just sitting at, like, a lawyer table.
That would be awesome, but you'll never know if it is. Because he won't say it is. Hi. Unless he says, "Hi, I'm Mr. Khan," and we all go, "Yeah." Or maybe his name would be DW. And I'll get very upset for poor Luke, having lost his best friend. This is Danny. What are the ones? Oh, Colleen. The Colleen clip was her in a cage match against two guys. Oh, I should probably point out, in the hallway fight, there is definitely a breaking bone. Like, Danny definitely breaks an arm.
Yes.
And that's important because there's another breaking bone in Colleen's fight. Although I'd say...
How is the hallway fight right now stacking up to the Daredevil hallway fights?
So far, from what I saw, it did not excite me as much as the Daredevil fights.
Okay.
But I don't think
but we didn't see the full fight, so...
We didn't see it get up to a glowing fist either.
Okay.
So, and I'm pretty sure the clip we got was to show... I mean, they had only wrapped the morning of New York Comic Con panel.
Yeah.
So, which is why none of the cast had seen the clips. But there's going to be a hell of a lot of post-production and stuff they have to add to stuff. So, I'm guessing all the clips we saw were chosen very carefully for what they had finished.
Yeah.
But yeah, the hallway fight was kind of, yeah, he can do martial arts. It's
Yeah.
pretty much what you saw in the trailer, but a little bit longer and we got to hear the broken arm and um a little bit more. But like I said, the one downstairs when he was like getting to the lift was more cool to me because it just showed like almost no effort on his. It was like almost like, you know,
Yeah.
when we're watching Luke punching people and he barely has to move. And same with
Yeah.
Jessica. It was kind of like that, but the martial arts version, so it was just really quiet and smooth.
Yeah.
And it was like the rest of the building didn't even notice it was so quiet. Unlike the
Yeah.
punch out, and there was something very appealing to me about that, rather than the
Yeah.
hallway fight. But I think like I said, I think the hallway fights have potential. But Colin taking out the two cage fight guys, and she's little and she's in kind of a off-white outfit. Not with the sword. This is all bare fist.
It looks like because it was a bit in the trailer, wasn't it? It's like a white outfit.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
there's certainly blood because she wipes a hand off blood at some point. It all goes down the outfit.
Yeah.
It really looks like a full-on sort of night fighting cage fight kind of club.
Yeah.
Because it's like people are outside watching and taking bets and things like that.
Yeah.
But she takes out the guys, of course, and she's amazing. And
Cool.
she's amazing, but she doesn't have to be with Danny. I think I don't think there were any other clips. Have I forgotten any?
No, I think that's it. So let's drop our big spoiler bomb now.
Yeah.
I guess it's a specific spoiler about something changed in Iron Fist's origin, which is relevant to other Netflix shows. So
that's one.
Yeah.
And it's just this is where the changes from the comics get dropped.
Yeah.
So turn
yeah.
off now if you don't want to hear. This one is Harold Meacham sitting by Danny's bedside, where Danny is chained, which is we saw in the previous teaser.
Yeah.
But this time we have Harold sitting next to him, so we don't know if Harold's in a wheelchair or not. We just know he's sitting down. And I love David Wenham, and he was creepy as hell. Like, I would put him on par with Purple Man, David Tennant.
Yeah.
Which is pretty impressive, because that part of what's creepy about the Purple Man is you know what his power is.
Yeah.
And unless they've done anything crazy, which I don't think they will have, Meacham has no powers. So,
yeah.
and he's sitting there and he's talking one of those really soft kind of, oh, Danny, I'm doing this all for your own good kind of voices, and sort of saying things. Well, he starts off by saying things like, oh, do you remember that song I used to sing to you? You always hated it. Starts singing Danny Boy.
Yeah.
In the creepiest rendition possible ever. And then starts saying, oh, but I thought you were dead, and, you know, what happened? And he's trying to get information out of Danny, and Danny isn't giving him, he's telling him, but not entirely telling him. So here we go. Danny says he was in the monastery of the Order of the Crane Mother in
First
Kunlun.
change.
Yeah, because like when he said that, there was then a break, and like Harold's like asking him more about it, and he's like, where is that? And I was like, oh God, please have kept Kunlun. Like, I'll cry if you say it was like in Tibet or something like, or you know, like, or just say, oh, you know, to try, because that's another sign that we're staying mystical for me. It's like they could have changed it, but they didn't. No, it's definitely in Kunlun. But there's your first change. Then he said he was trained and he became a warrior, and said some other stuff, but that was the sort of key of what he was saying, is that he'd become this warrior.
Did he say anything about the Iron Fist or the dragon?
He said the Immortal Iron. No, he didn't say anything about the actual punching a dragon kind of ceremony.
Okay.
But he said he became the Immortal Iron Fist, sworn enemy of the hand.
Yeah. That's the second big thing.
That's kind of a big deal.
Is there anything else?
Yep, then Harold talked a bit more about the hand, and he said, well, what is the hand? Well, he didn't say what is the hand, but he's like going, what do you mean, sworn? And he's like, so you can defeat this hand. And he said, I'm the only one that can defeat it. And there's another big change. And, he mentioned the 7 cities. That Kunlun
which
was
is
one
good.
of the 7 cities, yeah, which is why
Comfy.
Bride of the Nine Spiders could be in there.
Okay, so let's rewind then. First change. Temple of the Crane.
Order of the Crane Mother.
Big change. Crane Mother
Yeah.
is bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm very interested to see where they go with that. Because, the Crane Mother have been up to anything good. And she is creepy. She looks really creepy. So...
M brings Davos into it as Steel Serpent rather than as Davos as well. Which would be interesting.
If Davos is in it, we don't have confirmation yet.
No,
oh, wait.
we just have my
the
sneaky
IMDb
IMDBing.
Yeah.
We know
that was pretty funny.
Oh yeah, I looked at IMDb a while ago, and we have Zhu Cheng, this cast, and we know he's one of the baddies, which makes sense. But
he isn't he?
He's the guy. He's the guy that goes around killing Iron Fists.
Yeah.
For the Dragon Kings.
Yes.
So
he was working for the Dragon Kings?
I think so, isn't he? Or maybe I'm wrong. I thought he was.
No, you might be right. Dragon Kings have always been, like, in a weird place in canon. Like, they're just not really doing anything, but they're there, and they seem important.
Yeah, well, I'm having a quick look, see if I can find out. But I don't want to get things wrong, but I probably have.
So it's the Crane Mother, so that obviously brings a few things into question. Like, the first thing is Lei Kun still going to be teaching him? Is he still in, like, the city of Kunlun? Well, actually, you said the temple was in the city of Kunlun, didn't you?
Yeah, the monastery. It definitely says a monastery, which is why I'm saying he hasn't. I mean, if their monasteries work anything like our monasteries, he hasn't been having one night stands. But
is there like, so is Lei Kun teaching him? Are they going to do the UT as his uncle thing?
Yeah, I don't really know. It's kind of crazy.
And then we got the big one, Sworn Enemy of the Hand. So, and then him being the only one able to destroy the hand. Now, the hand haven't been destroyed in the comics yet. They've had a couple of major setbacks, but generally it's Daredevil or Elektra, and they're at the top of the hand's poop list. So, it'll be interesting bringing Iron Fist into the mix, especially changing that integral core part of his origin to make the Iron Fist a sworn enemy of the hand.
Yeah, it's kind
that means the hand's been around for a while.
It's definitely tying things up.
I don't know how to feel about that. Is it just like, they're martial arts bad guys and he's a martial arts good guy, so let's tie it in?
I'm guessing that they're going with the demon bit of the hand is the only bit that Danny can take out, and the rest of the hand everyone else can. So it's like they can all take out the hand, and then he has to come and do the Iron Fist has some specific...
Well, the other thing is, like, Iron Fist mythology is Chinese.
Yeah.
Hand is Japanese.
Yeah.
Are they gonna... I really hope they're gonna distinguish, like, a difference between the two. You know what I mean? Like...
Yeah. Who knows? That one worries me probably more than others. I've just looked up Zhu Cheng. He kills those who call themselves the Iron Fist, so his master, the Qilin, could try and devour the egg of the dragon.
Qilin. What were they again?
And he's the demon. Oh, God. Sorry. I'm not going to pay attention to what the cats are doing. We'll get a very different story. So that's... I mean, I'm still... Even from the minute that was said in the Harold Meacham bit in the clip, I still don't know how I feel about it. Like, we're what?
Yeah, if
2.5 weeks
you heard
later?
our first recording, because that was the first time I heard it, and I was just speechless.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to do. I was
and
like, whoa, I didn't expect this.
I mean, and it's one of those things, it's like, when I said we've got to get used to changes, and we do, and I have to assume they've done it to make it more understandable to people who haven't read the comics. Because
this doesn't seem like that.
Well, I don't know, because like when I first read the comics, I still made a mistake over who Zhu Cheng was and the Dragon Lords, and we're all like, there's a lot of like stuff in those early comics. I mean, I do not at all get how the Order of the Crane Mother can at all be in charge of training the Iron Fist. Like, it messes
that's
with
really
my
confusing.
mind. But like, and it's weird because I think if I knew some of the other characters as well as I know Iron Fist, would I have the same reaction? And I don't understand how. You're right. I don't understand how the Iron Fist can be the sworn enemy of the Hand.
Yeah, unless like at some point when Japan was invading China,
right?
Like the Hand, or unless that. See, I don't know. It's like, and the other thing is like it's changed his origin so much, and what I don't like when they do is when they make multiple characters' origins integral.
Yeah, well,
integrally like tied together. It's just.
I don't know. I mean, the thing is, we don't know how much it's. I mean, we know it's changed the Iron Fist bit of his origin. We don't know how much it's changed because like he could go to this monastery. No, but he could go to this monastery. He could train with Lei Kyung. He could train with Davos. He could still be chosen to do the ceremony of the Iron Fist. He could still kick a dragon's ass. He could still plunge his hands into, like there could still be a lot of his origin there. It's just,
I guess the thing is
that we've lost.
I think the thing is the Iron Fist already has a lot of duties, and the Iron Fist already has a lot of enemies. Do we need to make the Hand the main bad guys? Because, in case you forget, one of Daredevil's main bad guys is the Hand.
Yeah, but I think that's probably because they're going to deal with the Hand in the Defenders. I think it's the biggest clue that the Defenders
and then it's like,
are going to be
are you just blowing your load on the whole meaning of the Iron Fist just for the Defenders?
Well, no, I'm hoping that having Zu there as a baddie will show he's got other enemies, because they have said he's going to have the most baddies of any of the Defenders series.
Yeah, I just don't think he should be like the sworn. He's the chosen one to destroy the Hand because. Like, did the Chase know about him?
Yeah, but
what did they think?
But also, if it was true, I mean, if the Immortal Iron Fist was the sworn enemy of the Hand and the only person who could defeat them, then why are they not already dead?
It also implies that.
I mean, like, because unless like, why aren't they already gone?
Well, it also implies that the title of Iron Fist and the Iron Fists started in reaction to the existence of the Hand.
Possibly, but it's. I mean,
well, I can't. Why would the? Yeah.
There is another alternative. We should. I mean, Danny could have not been telling the truth, but it seems like a very specific lie to tell.
Yeah.
Just
there's also
throwing
the fact that maybe
there. He was talking to Harold and Jimmy was being a bit creepy.
Or maybe the Hand has got on Kunlun's poop list recently. I don't know. Look, either way, as Finn Jones himself said. You can only wait and watch the show to see what's happening.
But I think the Monastery of the Crane Mother one doesn't bother me as much because I can see ways they could do it. Because
that's in Iron Fist mythos.
Yeah, and they could do it.
It's in his mythos, not another character.
I mean, I was just glad they then mentioned Kunlun and then mentioned the Eternal Cities. And he actually said the Immortal Iron Fist, not just I became Iron Fist. So we know there's aspects that are staying.
I mean, it's just kind of like, just let me try and think of an example. I don't know, it's like kind of like, well, what if like, one of Martian Manhunter's villains blew up Krypton, Mm-hmm. Like, just changing something so far back in the story, like, okay, they've changed it so Brainiac's blown up Krypton, but that's a bit different.
I mean, it does smack of it just happening because the Defenders is coming up.
And that's what I don't like, is like, you don't change a character's inherent origin. You can make it so that he's sent after the Hand specifically, but I don't know. I guess we'll just wait and see. People, please send in what you think. Please do.
Yeah. Because
I'll be very interested to hear other people's opinions.
I mean, I think one of the things we talked about last time was that in Shadowland, Danny is the one that knocked Daredevil out of it at least.
Yes, but he wasn't the one that defeated.
No.
Did the Exorcism Punch, then Elektra came in and did it?
Yeah, but I'm just saying there is at least he's got a history.
Yes, he has
in the comics with the Hand.
Well, and if you remember in the Wolverine Iron Fist crossover, the Hand went off and stole Iron Fist's Dragon G, and Iron Fist tracked them down to Japan to get it back and kill the guy. So he does have history, and he is in I think he's in the top 5 list of the Hand's poop list. Like, they want to kill him in the comics. I think he's only below Daredevil and Elektra and maybe Wolverine. I don't know. So he definitely has a history
he's
with
definitely
them.
up
They hate
there.
each other.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so I think we just have to see what they're going to do with it, but start preparing ourselves for some big
There's only
changes.
so much speculation you can do as well with
There
this.
is, because like this is from a at most 3-minute clip, if that.
Yeah.
Probably not. Probably like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So, and it's someone who's chained to a bed giving information. And I'm not saying he's lying, but like,
Yeah.
he may not be giving the full story.
Danny himself might not have been given the full story. I mean, we know that that's happened.
Yeah.
So
many times. But he didn't mention plant people coming to kill him, which was very sad. God, right. But no, so I was going to say, what we were talking about before with the IMDb thing was like, so we know we've got Zhu Cheng, but in the IMDb list, if you go past all the actors to the stunt people, there are like stunt doubles listed for Davos and various actors who haven't officially been cast yet. So, who could be playing Lei Kung or all sorts of other people. Because they all have very, very impressive martial arts reels. So, and Jeff Loeb has said that Iron Fist has the most baddies of any of the... Which isn't really that many baddies, because like Daredevil's only had a couple, really. Jessica only had Purple Man, and Luke's only had 2. Maybe 3 if you push it. So I mean, like, saying he's going to have the most isn't saying all that much, but we should allow ourselves...
Probably the most in like one show,
Yeah, that's what they meant.
Maybe.
Sorry, the most in one show. Because we know he's got at least one of the Meachums, if not all 3. And we know he's got Zhu Cheng, so there's already 2. So we only need a couple more to really push that up a bit.
Yeah.
And that was the panel. And then, no, you know, we're not going to talk about the panel, but... Oh, yeah,
there was a Punish thing, but we already talked about that.
There was a Punisher thing, and Sigourney Weaver's going to be the baddie for the Daredevils.
Oh, yeah, we should mention that. Sigourney Weaver is the bad guy for the Defenders.
Yeah.
So,
and
we have no idea who it is.
Defenders on stage, which was...
Yeah.
Still, my friend is thanking me for the 2 a.m. wake up for that.
I don't... Yeah... I still have no idea who Sigourney Weaver's going to play in the Defenders.
No,
it's not going to be a CGI monster.
I think I'm fine now spending my build up to Iron Fist, and then I'll worry about the Defenders.
I'm not worried about it.
No, but you know what I mean. I have no idea. I have no idea why people are speculating Mephisto. I have no idea why people are being like, she could very well be the beastie bit of the hand. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I'm fairly sure the hand's going to be in the Defenders.
Well, I mean, it's pretty much confirmed.
Well, yeah.
I think it is confirmed.
Yeah. Well, the Defenders preview, the Defenders teaser thing was just an outstretched hand. Stick was talking to the wall, you know, saying they couldn't save themselves. So, yeah, I think everyone was pretty... I mean, I think it's all but confirmed that it's going to be the hand.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. She could be so many people. Because you're right, it could be CGI, it could not be CGI. At this point, she could just be a banker. And, like, Marvel would probably still make it work somehow.
Yeah.
But that was pretty cool. And they it was pretty cool. That got a massive cheer, obviously, because people were not expecting that kind of information.
Yeah. So I was just looking at the end of Shadowland here. And Iron Fist does the chi punch. And then Elektra goes into Matt's subconscious or something and essentially tells him to metaphorically kill himself.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that's how Matt breaks out of it, and he breaks out of it himself. And so I guess all 3 of them destroy the hand. It's like a big super friend team up.
Which is something like what the Defenders is going to be. What a song!
Oh, and like Luke Cage is sort of just... Wait, is he even there? No, I don't think he is. Can't... Oh, yeah, no, he's there.
He's around.
And Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man. That's another conversation. So, yeah, I think that's it. Do you have anything else to add?
Not that I can think of.
Alright, well, until next time, may your fists become unto a thing of iron.
And take care.
Alright, see ya. Fist and all other characters in these comics are properties of Marvel and Disney, and any music or images we use belong to their respective copyright holders, and we do this for fun, so please don't sue us. You can contact us at sonsofthedragonpodcast@gmail.com. Just send us mail, comments, thoughts, send us anything you want really, even if it's not about Iron Fist. And if you don't want it read out on the air, just mention that. You can also reach us at Facebook, the Immortal Iron Fist Podcast, Sons of the Dragon, our Twitter, at Iron Fist Podcast, our SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/Sons of the Dragon with hyphens where the spaces are. Our YouTube, Connor Carl, just search Iron Fist Podcast on YouTube and you'll find us real quick. And then there's our WordPress, Sons of the Dragon, the Immortal Iron Fist Podcast.wordpress.com. We are also on iTunes. Feel free to rate us there. If you rate us less than 5 stars, well, just tell us what we're doing wrong and we'll try and improve that. And last but not least, we are on Podcast Garden in the literature section. And thanks to Thomas Tissoff for the theme song at the start. And thanks.